Hello and welcome to my patch notes rundown for the 9th of August. This week's update introduces the first wave of changes to the Nodon Front, including Carapac, as well as a great buff to the Grimoire page drops from Solak. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Solak now has a 100% chance to drop one torn Grimoire page, but there's no longer a 50% chance to receive 2 pages. I'm really happy they decided to buff the Grimoire page drop through Solak. This is a great step in the right direction. I personally would want the prices of pages to be around 2 mil each, so I hope they continue to monitor the update and potentially buff it further. Solak now has a chance to drop Cluster of Torn Grimoire pages, a stack of 25 pages with a 1 in 200 drop chance. Totaling both of these drops, Solak now drops 3.4 times more pages per kill, which seems like a lot, but this won't cause the prices of pages to be 3.4 times cheaper, and this is because of the immediate increase in demand. In turn, this causes Solak to become more profitable and the use of Grimoire more worthwhile. Carapac's attack options will now be hidden during his death animation to make looting easier. Carapac's magic attack will no longer deal damage while he's in the process of dying. This only works if the magic attack hits you 1.2 seconds after Carapac dies. However, if the attack hits you 0.6 seconds after Carapac dies, the damage will still register, so continue to be careful at the end of kills. Cooldown indicators on all the extra action button abilities found in the Nodon Front have been made more opaque for better visibility. Added a 1.2 second anti-spam to the warp time ability to prevent players from accidentally cancelling it early. If players attempt to stand beneath Carapac during the shatter mechanic, the time thread tear will now pick a random direction to fire in. This nerf was reverted due to the fact that it would make trio indirectly more rewarding even though it's easier. Personally, it was the only mechanic that I didn't enjoy at Carapac. Not only does the mechanic stun the player, but the hitbox of the magic damage siphon from Carapac to the time thread tear was almost impossible to predict. The Fractured Staff of Armadil's special attack is now affected by the Altar of War's cooldown reset. The Greater Concentrated Blast ability's animation no longer shows the player stalled in place if they attempt to move while casting. Dyed versions of the Fractured Staff of Armadil are no longer tradable. This really made me think, what if you could trade dyed items? It would make them more available, loosening the outweighing demand for dyes. I should probably mention that blood dye is currently at 5.6 bill and third age dye at 5.1 bill. Moving on to the other patches. Melee area effect abilities will now correctly hit NPCs larger than 5x5 squares when attacking them away from the southwestern corner of the NPC's hitbox. This bug has existed since EOC release back in 2012 and was very noticeable at Araxor using Cleave with the Noxious Scythe. Revert to the chat message spacing changes. I definitely prefer the compacted format and I hope to maybe see a toggle in the future. Double agents may now spawn on the first clue step. This is a hidden change suspected to be a bug as a result of an update to medium clues. I'm curious if they'll revert this change or if it was intended. In my opinion, it makes sense that all steps of a clue are able to roll on the first step, including a chance to spawn Yuri. Skeletons spawned during a Taraket boss fight will now trigger the Ruthless perk if killed. And that's it for this week's patch notes. I was pleasantly surprised they decided to buff the Grimoire page drops at Solak, and who knows, we might get even further deserved buffs. I'm very happy with the state of the Nodon Front, including Carapac, and the only notable change we're waiting to receive is the Fractured Staff of Armadil's special attack update, which I'm going to assume is a buff to compensate for the recent nerf. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you for watching and take care.